Member for Petrie.
Well, thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's great to rise and talk on this matter of public importance. Look, as Labor have said, they're saying that it's about jobs for the future, and I agree, it is about jobs for the future, but it's not just about planning for jobs of the future, it's about delivering jobs of the future. And that's what the Coalition's all about, delivering practical schemes that will help business employ more local people. And we saw under Labor, the 6 years of Labor, more than 500,000 jobs, Member for Moreton, when you were in, 500,000 jobs lost in small business under Labor, and they want to talk about jobs for the future. Well, I'm glad to say that the Coalition government is working to recover those jobs. We are. To every person in my electorate of Petrie and right around this country, that's our #1 priority, jobs. We want to see more jobs for local people in our electorates, and we're the only party in this parliament with a plan. The only party. We know that those opposite just have a plan for more debt and more taxes. Unlike us. Oh, the member says we've doubled the debt. We'll come back to that. Let's have a look at Labor's contribution when they were in power in the relation to skilling. More than $1 billion was cut from apprenticeships between 2011 and 2012 budget. Labor failed to ensure training led to real jobs. Instead, it funded training for training's sake. A review by Allens Consulting of Labor's signature $2.1 billion productivity placements program found it could not identify who had been trained, couldn't find who had been trained, how many people had been trained, or who had the contract to deliver the training. Mate, if that was in the private sector, the company would be broke. Labor was then forced to scrap the program before the last election. Throughout Labor's term, apprenticeship completion rates flatlined at around 50%. Well, let me say, part of our plan, but of course, is to balance the budget. And I know that is a foreign concept for the Labor Party and the Greens and for everyone on that side of the House, but we have to balance the budget. And even the school kids up in the gallery understand that you must balance the budget. Well, you say we balance the budget. Where's your $6 billion in savings? $6 billion in savings before the last election that you promised. You haven't voted for one of them. Get your senators, get the Greens to support your savings, because you know what? I don't hear any savings from Labor. No savings from Labor. And I've been sitting in this place now for almost 2 years, not one decent saving. The only saving that you guys come up with, one, you want to take on multinationals, which will save you $2 billion a year. We're running budgets of about $35 billion a year in deficits, and in the last 8 years we've done that. So you're going to save $2 billion on tackling multinationals, which Joe, the Treasurer, is now addressing. And what's your second saving? You want to hit super. You want to hit superannuation. And have you thought at all about what superannuation will do to the social security budget 20 years from now? We're going to save heaps, because everyone under 50 will have superannuation and they won't be on welfare. So you think of the amount of people in your electorate, even if they put $30,000 a year away, and not everyone can do that, but if they put $30,000 away for 25 years, what do they got? What do they got? 750 grand or something, minus 15% tax. You want to hit them more. You want to hit them more. Hands off super. It's not your money. What you've got to do is you've got a spending problem, Labor. You have a spending problem. You spend like drunken sailors. You have to rein in your spending. That's what you've got to do. And what does the Leader of the Opposition say in this debate? He says, oh, well, you know, household savings are down, you know, the deficit's doubled, yet he fails to pass his own budget savings. This Leader of the Opposition is not providing leadership to this country. He does not know how to create jobs. And the best things that Australians can do in 2016 is re-elect a coalition government. That's what we need. We need a coalition government re-elected for a second term, Member for Moreton. That's what we need, because we have a plan. And I know you guys, a lot of you guys are good guys, you want to see the best thing, but you have to make some savings, because when you rack up spending, have a guess who pays for it? Businesses pay for it through higher taxes, through payroll tax, through carbon taxes, and how does that then help create jobs? Please, look at some savings. You've got 12 months to think about it.